Good evening, everyone. We are so glad to start 2016. Happy New Year, by the way, with our first community trainer call of the year. And as a very, very special treat, we have Jeffrey Hutcherson, also known as Hot Chocolate, joining us this evening. Before I introduce Jeffrey, however, I did want to do one quick announcement for the community, and that is that January will be the last time that we will be having calls at 9 o'clock Eastern. Starting next month, the calls will be held at 6 p.m. Eastern, the first Wednesday of every month. So unless we otherwise note it on the monthly newsletter, just plan on the first Wednesday every month at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that would be 5 Central, 4 Mountain, and 3 Pacific. So just so you're aware. But don't worry, if you can't join the live call, the calls will continue to be recorded, and all past and future training calls will be available for download after the call is finished. And they will always be on the trainer resources page. Now, gives me great pleasure to introduce Jeffrey Hutcherson. He is a good friend of mine. When I met him in Orlando back in January of 2015, I knew immediately, it's like, this dude is something special, and I can totally vouch for that. Jeffrey is the author of Transformative New Thoughts and Hot Chocolate Happiness. Happy because I said so. He's also a massage therapist, energy healer, artist of life coach, former international online radio talk show co-host, and a force of nature. I can vouch for that. Most importantly, he's a happy man first. He is a certified Infinite Possibilities trainer as of January 2015. He is a trailblazer, and he was on the Trailblazer panel in Ventura. In fact, Jeffrey goes down as in IPPY panel history for his unrehearsed mic drop at the end of his segment. And you can check it out on the resources page if you haven't seen it, by the way. Jeffrey lives a joyful, playful, passionate life, and he shares in joy. For more about him, please visit him at www.Jeffrey, that's JEOFFREE.com, or email him at info@jeffrey.com. Let's unmute you here, Jeffrey, so you can I turn the floor over to you, my friend. It's all yours.
Everybody, how's it going? It's amazing. Just before we got started, I got booted off. I don't know if you guys could tell or not. I was like, did the server crash? What was going on? And I'm like, hello. And then when I'm able to jack back on, you're like already talking up. I'm like, did I miss it? You know, do they know I'm not here? Okay, so we know I'm here now, and it's great to see everybody out there. If you're in the chat room, pop it up. Let me know that you're out there. Tonight is going to be something outrageous. Why? Because they have me doing it.
We can hear you, my friend.
Okay, I guess we're going to roll the dice. Things are never normal when chocolate's in the house. Okay, so seeing as how we've got the nice start for the technical difficulties and things, and yes, Apios, please feel free to do some fancy editing for this as much as you'd like to help clean this up. Everybody, let's get started. Now, just to give you fair warning, I'm going to give you everything that I know of in this moment. What's going to be coming through is going to be fun, it's going to be fast, fresh, it's going to be different. You might have heard some of these things before, but you haven't heard them from my perspective. Now, my title was Living Our Vibrant Expressions, a Way of Love, LOVE. You know, that's really, really cool because that's all we really want. We all want to show up and be who we are and live the joyous life. We all want the same things, whether we recognize it or not. That's totally cool. Can you guys see me? I see someone waving. Okay, it's fading in and out, so just gonna play with it this way. This is how we want. This is what we want to do. We all want the same things. We want to be loved. We all want to be seen, and we all want to be safe. Quite frankly, everything I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, it's an emotional world we live in, and because it's an emotional world, we are in total control. And with the things I'm going to share with you tonight, you're going to know that it's true. You're not going to believe it. You're going to know it if you're ready. So if you guys want to be with me, whether you're listening, whether you're watching, here's how you can get into more of your present state. Because when you are feeling stressed, when you are fearful, when you are feeling something that's less than feeling good emotion, you're splintered. You're not fully in your body. So here is a technique that monks use to get into their body to be fully present. So when we are scattered, when we're out here thinking and stuff like that, when that stuff's going on with our mind, is thinking 1,000 things per second, to slow all of that down, to get into your body, what you do is you just drop your consciousness. You take a breath, and on the exhale, just imagine your consciousness dropping and coming right behind your eyes. Close your eyes again, take a breath, and imagine your consciousness dropping right behind your eyes. Once you can sense that, you're in your body. Once you sense that, there is no fear. There is no doubt. There is nothing, because you're right behind your eye. Like they said in the classes, I am here. This is being here. Right here in this space, totally appreciative. Now, my basis of this class was, the first thing I wanted to teach you was that it's not the words we use, but how we feel as we use them. People get so locked up into what someone says, what someone does. And let me just explain something to you. We bring meaning to the words that we use. Now, when I say love, as compared to when you guys say love, we all feel it differently because of what we bring to that word. Now, love that I know of has never needed sacrifice, has never needed conditions, has never needed all of those things that we put on the idea of love. Love doesn't need those things. And so if you're going to love yourself in all things, well, guess what? You just stop beating yourself up over the things you don't have compared to the things that you can get. You can really understand. I'm getting some background noise. Are you guys getting that too? Okay. And so now, looking at that space that we give the meaning to our words, that it's not the words we use, but how we feel as we use them. Since you guys are present with me, I'm going to say something, and depending on where you are, it's either going to feel good or feel bad. I have no power over this, but you just check it for yourself, okay? So, life is meaningless, and everything means nothing. Now, depending on where you are, when you heard that, if you said, well, it doesn't sound very inspiring or empowering, but if you heard someplace differently and you heard that, you can recognize that I just gave you the essence of the keys to the kingdom. Because if life is meaningless, okay, cool, life is meaningless. Life only means what I give it. I give life meaning by how I live, by how I think, by how I behave. I do that. And everything means nothing. Holy shit. I don't have to believe everything that I thought. I don't have to hold on to that negative stuff anymore. All of that stuff, I can let that stuff go. Because everything means nothing. So everything can mean whatever I want it to mean, but that whole nothing piece, baby, that's breaking up the chains. That is breaking up the chains, and you don't have to be just free, but you can be free like me when you understand that you break the chains that you put on yourself. Because we give life meaning. And everything means nothing, especially if you're using it to your detriment. You know, here's a funny thing that I've realized in my life, and I see it in other people too. I have decided to be happy. A lot of people won't make that decision and stick with it. They think life is hard, life is suffering, life is all of those things. And you know what? I can't doubt you on that, and I can't sway you on that, because why? Your life is going to boil down to 4 words: if you say so. And I can't override what you think, what you believe. And since I can't do that, then that should also, again, give you the keys to the kingdom, because you recognize how powerful you truly are. The dreams, the goals, the things that you wish to achieve, you can have it. You can achieve it. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to get somebody else's approval or permission for it. You can just have it because you want it, because you said so. And this is that place. Oh, this is that space. See, I'm in a love rush right now, and I hope you guys can really feel what's coming across from me in this. This has been so freeing for me, and this is free for me because this is my life. I'm not comparing my life to someone else's. This is totally mine. This is my expression. And so, again, going back to this, life is meaningless and everything means nothing. Wow, okay. That's just one piece. Now, like I said, what you're going to get with this phone call, too, is outrageous, simple enlightenment. So, again, things are going to be coming through, and I don't know what they are, but, again, be sure that they will be to your benefit. And, again, you don't have to believe everything that you thought. Now, in the idea of what we're expressing here, because there's so many spiritual teachings, there's so many things that are out there, and everything is wonderful. And to get your direct knowing on this, because when we talk about beliefs, when we talk about how we're going about our lives, a belief is just a thought we keep thinking. Now, your knowing can never be taken away from you unless you decide to know something different. Check this out. If someone said Jeffrey or Hot Chocolate gives crappy hugs, some of you people will be like, are you kidding me? Have you ever been in this guy's arms? You have no idea. There is no way in hell he gives a bad hug. Have you been in his embrace? No, you haven't. Well, then you can't even say that because you have no idea. But until you go over there and hug him, then you're just coming from the spot of where you actually recognize that you're holding yourself back. So again, we give life meaning. We give it that space where we can move forward and to be something, our fullest expression of who we are. Next piece. The art of being selfish. Now, I'm talking about being selfish in the best sense of the word. You know, if I don't take care of myself, one of my Grandmaster teachers, Dr. Mooji, he shared with me a long time ago when he was teaching me the art of Lesson Yoga. He said the best gift you can give your family is your health and well-being. And I went, what? He's like, the best gift you can give your family is the gift of your health and well-being. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means I got to take care of myself first. If I don't take care of myself, I am no good to the people that I love. If I didn't make a point to decide at some point in my life to be happy and I wasn't going to back down from it, people can choose to suffer. Suffering is a choice, just like being happy. But just because suffering is out there doesn't mean I have to resist it. Just because suffering is out there and people choose to go through it doesn't mean it's normal. Okay, I'm going to share something with you guys, which is kind of so appropriate for this phone call. The other day, yesterday, I went through something that that was really, really horrible. And I was off my center for a while. So I allowed myself to be off center. Because I'm so conscious, I can't be off center and not know it and not blame it on any circumstance other than the fact of I used what I was looking at as an excuse to feel bad about myself and about my life. I was there for about an hour and a half, which is a really long time for me because normally I process stuff and I get through it like that and I'm gone, baby. But for some reason, I was just there, okay? And so it really hurt to be in that space, and I'm going, I can't waste my time to be here anymore. I can't waste my time feeling bad and feeling negative because this is energy that I can use to be positive. You know, luckily it was only an hour and a half because I didn't have that much momentum to carry me further throughout a crappy day. I'll share this with you too. Think of it this way, people. When you go to sleep, you reset every night. You do over. And every morning when you wake up, you are at 100% for as far as possibility, for as far as joy, for as far as feeling great. Now, this is just being in bed, you're waking up. You're at 100%. But the minute you start thinking about how bad your day was yesterday, your energy starts dropping. And let's say you keep going through this process and you keep thinking about how a bad day that you had. And then it leads you to other negative thoughts, and it leads you to other thoughts. And then before you even step foot out of bed, you are at 50%, if you're lucky. Because by the time you kept rethinking it, rehashing it in your head, it got worse, it got worse, it got worse, and you're feeling worse, and it just was not getting any better. Now, if you get out of the bed at 50% and you head towards the shower, or you're making your coffee and you're trying to shake it off and you're trying to get something back up, you can increase your energy percent throughout the day, but I'm just saying it's going to be a lot difficult because you've already started at such a low point. Now, you need to take care of yourself. And what I mean by that is, again, just definitely choosing to be happy. Why not? There's your simple enlightenment. Why not? And compared to what everyone else has been doing around this world throughout our recorded history, so what? Your past is your past. You can't change it. You know, if you're going to use the past like I do. Go to the past and pull back your positive experiences that you can feel now and take into your future. People use the past improperly. They go to the past to find negative experiences, to say, oh, this is why I'm failing, this is what I got going on. No, this is not why you're failing. You're just choosing to feel bad now, which is putting you in the spot of where you try to move forward. You're going to be moving forward in that doubt, and you don't want to do that. Are y'all getting this? Are y'all still with me? Am I by myself? Technical issues. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give it a heads up there. That's good. That's good. All right. Hey, Regina, you're looking good. Okay. So we've got. So the next piece, and also I'm just going to finish this here too, with being selfish. When I first met Mike back in 2009, when I caught up with him sometime down the road, I gave my first book, Transformative New Thoughts. How I phrased it was following and being your bliss. What does bliss mean? Bliss means be loving and self-service. So be loving to yourself in every step of the way. Serve yourself first, because guess what? If I am a depressed life coach, what good am I to you? If I am a massage therapist who constantly gets cramps and who doesn't, who's lost range of motion, what good am I to you? So I need to take care of myself. So be loving and self-service. This is who you are. This is what we can be. And again, loving yourself first. Because guess what? When you learn to love yourself fully and completely, the people in your life are going to do the same. And you don't even have to tell them. It's just going to happen. I know this. So let's show this. Next piece. The difference between questions and questioning. Okay, so we know from one standpoint that we want to have dreams, we want to have goals, and we say to ourselves, and Mike says it too, don't get caught up in the cursed house. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that too. Now, what I mean by questions for me are exciting. If I wanted to go, when I decided to go to San Antonio, it was like, is it going to be easy? I don't know, but it sounds exciting. It feels exciting to go to San Antonio. It feels exciting to be around my friends. It feels exciting to be in that energy again. It feels wonderful to be in that energy again. How can I use that energy of San Antonio to my advantage? See, not having the answers right away, but asking the right questions sets you up to be receptive to the answer. I didn't know how I was exactly going to plot my way out to be at San Antonio. But guess what? I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Yesterday was something that could have totally taken me out of the game for being in San Antonio, but I chose to not let it stop me. All I did was shift my feelings around my life situation, and things started to work out for me. I didn't change any circumstance, any situation. The only thing I did was change how I felt about what I was looking at so it wouldn't crush my spirit. And because it didn't crush my spirit, I was receptive to an answer. I was receptive to finding a way to still hold on to my delicious yes, because damn, it was juicy. There was no way I wanted to stay away from this. Look, one of the people that went through my class is now on the Trailblazer stage this time around. I need to see her. There was no way I was not going to be there, okay? It was just hot. Too many things were popping off for me not to be there. And that my second book was going to be ready by San Antonio too? Are you kidding me? Just for the simple fact that my second book is ready. Pre-sales are already said. You can get it beforehand, and I can send you a copy with my autograph on it. But it was all of that life excitement revolving around that time that I wanted to be there. And so when stuff was popping up, questions were, how can I use this to my advantage? How does this work for me? What's not perfect about this yet? Is it easy? Is it still fun? Does it still feel exciting? When you ask from that place, again, you put yourself in that receptive mode to see the answers. Now, questioning, you know what that is. That's the exact opposite from what I just said. I don't know if I can do it. Should I do this now? Am I worthy? I don't know if I can. There's so many other things I could use that money for, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff that you're saying, yeah, that's questioning. So you see there's a difference between the two of asking questions and questioning. Now, with what we have here, and I've asked you to be present, I've asked you to really open up to really knowing how powerful you truly are. You're going to do this and recognize this because the power is within. Now, what I mean by that is, I've got 2 books underneath my belt. The stuff that I opened up to, I really sat in meditation and said, what wants to come out? What wants to come out? I was looking within for all of my answers, for all of my inspiration. I was not looking outside of myself for love, acceptance, and approval. Now, there are great spiritual books out there, ways of being. Every single one of them, I guess, in my opinion, and from the ones that I've read, all come down to this one fact of that you get to choose how you feel about life. Life just happens, and you get to choose how you feel about what happened. Every single book, I don't care where, from the Bhagavad Gita to the Tao Te Ching, there is nothing like reading a book and you go, I knew that already. I knew that already. I knew that already. How did I know that already? Well, you know it because you can tune into it yourself. You don't need a book to tell you how to live, how to be, what's the best way that you can do, because guess what? There was a time on this planet when we were just walking around as humans. We were walking around as human beings. Maybe we were dressed, maybe we weren't. Maybe we were just walking around as human beings doing things. And we were still connected to a form of consciousness because we got inspired to create something. We got inspired to be different. We got taught that there was more in this physical realm that we were in. And then somewhere along the line, we started drawing on walls and started communicating with each other that way. And then we started using these forms of books to communicate things and to hold ideas. But let me tell you something. Before all of these books were written, before all of these scrolls were passed on and all of that stuff, consciousness was talking and speaking to you. Now, do you think just because we wrote it on a scroll, we wrote it on a wall, we wrote it in a book, we recorded it on a CD or an MP3, that consciousness stopped talking to you once it was in a book? No, it did not. And so if that's true, oh my God, you don't need books. You can tune into it yourself. But again, it's just giving you that space to do so. to be in your place of empowerment and go, what do I love to do? How can I get paid to be me? Ooh, okay. Well, I like talking to people. I like talking about things that really connect my soul. I like writing. I got really good at healing people with my hands. Now, people understand I was a martial artist first, and I was really good at hurting people with my hands. But I knew that there was something else that I could do with my hands. I knew there was something else that I could do. And then I found out that there was a healing side to the martial arts. Sold. So just by how you choose to be, you can get paid to be you. You're doing it already. Whatever type of job you have defined yourself saying, hey, this is what I like to do, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do to get money. Plain and simple. Whether it's construction, whether it's a ballerina dancer, whether it's like, oh my God, we pay people outrageous amounts of money to not be themselves. Our actors. Let me give you $20 million to not be you. Really? Really? Okay, so yeah, you can make money by being you. If we pay people so much money to not be you, oh my God, you were so not like you and it was so believable. Yeah. You can make money by being you. Now decide who you want to be. It's not for anybody else to tell you. You can be whomever you want to be, and you can make money by being you. Why? I'm doing it. Everyone else out there, Mike's doing it, Andy's doing it, Regina's doing it. Who else is out there that's, and we all have different flavors, but we're all working in the same kitchen. You hang around us long enough, we're all going to be saying the same thing. And that's the beauty of this, because we're all in this together. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all in this together. So you can tune into consciousness. And again, to get that aspect, to get that peace, you just breathe in, bring your consciousness right behind your eye. Be there. And you can hear your answers to the questions that you're asking. Because get this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you come up with the question, you have the information to get the answer, because you have the belief system that created the question. Is this question coming from a place of empowerment, or is it coming from a place of doubt? How can I have more fulfilling relationships? Okay, because you phrased it that way, you aren't having fulfilling relationships. And so there's that piece of you that says, my relationships are fulfilling. This person isn't making me happy. I don't like how things are going on. And it's like, wait a minute. It's you first. The best relationship you'll ever have will be the one that you have with you first. And then somebody else shows up to echo what you're feeling on the inside. This is what happened when you and I met, Apio. During this time, there's just been this chain that I've recognized in my life, that when I wake up and I say, I've decided to be happy, I've decided to be joyful, I've decided to be crazy, outrageous, and fun, and being the hottest chocolate that walks the planet. I'm being in that state, and I'm going, oh, my joy shows up like this, and my cats and dogs are coming up to my face, just tails a wagging, just meowing, just brushing all up against me. And I'm just getting ready to go throughout my day, and my workout is just great. And I'm going through, and life is just fun. I'm just having so much fun because I'm blissing out in my own stuff. Haven't even left the house yet. So even when I get out the house, and then when I met you, I feel it was like going throughout that whole day, my bliss was showing up. My bliss was showing up like this. My joy was showing up like this. My joy was showing up like this. I had a whole morning of my joy showing up like this. And then Apio stepped up to my plate, and I'm going, my joy showed up like this. Hot damn. Now, we've all had experiences like that, and we all can access and have more experiences like that. It's just that little string of creating a happy life out of following your happy moments. Don't get so caught up in trying to create a happy life that you miss the little moments that you create hour by hour, minute by minute. second by second. It is right here, everybody. Okay? It is right here. And I've been listening to a lot of people. I've listened to Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey. I've listened to Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy. I've listened to a slew of a lot of people. I met Mark Victor Hansen and took a picture with him, and I put my hands on him, and he was smiling for the photo, and he said, he stopped. He looked at me and he said, you really do have the hands of a healer. He's like, I don't say that to very many people, but you really do. I just want to let you know. And then he took this photo with me, and it was a wonderful moment. You know, it was really, really cool. When I met Esther and sat with Abraham for the first time, I could feel in that spot where they were going to pick me, because they got the room into such a state of where they were laughing, they were blissed out, and I raised my hand. I'm like, now it's my turn. And they picked me. And I ran to the chair, and I just had such a magnificent conversation with them, and I had so much fun. But I hope you can feel in my voice, I hope you can see it from what you can on the screen here. What's coming through is that your life is made up by the way that you allow yourself to feel. And damn it, I'm choosing to feel good. Because it is. Baby, because it is. It so is. It is so good. Why? Because I said so. Why? Because I feel so. Why? Because I know so. This is how I make it easy to take it easy. And let's move on with that too, as far as the concept of how do you make it easy to take it easy? Well, if you do anything that I suggested in this phone call, you are well on your way to making it easy to take it easy. If you're going to love yourself, love yourself. You know, with this whole spiritual game, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I have my direct knowing through my life experiences that there is no outside energy or deity that is in negative judgment of us that is going to punish us at any given time whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you've heard that, you can't unknow it. You've heard it from me now. You can deny it all you want, but at some point, maybe you'll realize it, maybe you won't. But if you keep using your spirituality as a way to justify the punishment that you've gone through, that you're presently going through, that's bullshit. Look, listen, I've done past life clearings on people. I can still do stuff like that. There's a slew of stuff that I've learned in my white magic mystery school teachings. And I've done past life clearings. And when I found out that people were just using past life ideas as a way to justify the suffering that they were doing in the present moment. I said it. Any tool that you have going on here, and again, going back to yesterday when I had such a horrible time for an hour and a half, for that whole hour and a half, I was forgetting to use the tool. I was forgetting to use the tools that we've been shown, that we know. You only suffer when you forget to use the tools, baby. So use them. They're constantly there. They're there for you every single moment. You have the power to choose and to not let any life experience crush you to thinking that you're less than. I said that on the video. That was so very true. And you said, and did you feel how you were there? Did you feel how the room just kind of went silent after I said that? They were just like, you could tell something shifted. It was like, oh. But that's how you make it easy to take it easy. That's, simplistic enlightenment. Use no life experience as a reason to feel less than. Because again, okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Okay. If you are going to believe in this spiritual way of being, and that there's this energy out there that's perfect, and that this energy is connected to you, then it created you, and this energy is perfect, then you are perfect. Just as you are. You are a perfect divine expression of this energy. And you get to move forward in your perfection because we all share the same story. We come to this physical world, we face challenges, and here's how we overcome them. We all share that same story. We are all connected by that. And the power that we show when we overcome our challenges, when we show ourselves that we are more than what we thought. When we allow ourselves, here's the key to having no fear. All of you, here's the key to being happy. Here, it is right here. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. Here's what it is, okay? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. You just fully show up in this moment. Who you want to be. How you choose to feel. The key to being happy is for you to show up. So you can't really be upset with somebody if they're not loving you the way that they want you to, or, you know, if they're not loving you the way that you want them to, if you're not loving yourself the way that you want to. How can I love you when you won't love you? Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So if you're going to love yourself fully, then do so. Because when we are in that loving state, we are not looking at someone as to be judgeful. You know, Apio, and I said this to you face to face. I've already decided to love you. I'm not going to look for anything to be disagreeable about you. Why would I do that? I call it love. No. That is conditional love.
And I remember that too.
Right? Right? That's that conditional love stuff. You know, and we're not about that. You know, and I got to say this too. I've also learned that when I'm dealing with people, you're not going to call hot chocolate and bitch about something. You're just not. Why? Well, without even telling you, I'm telling you guys in this phone call, but I don't talk to people and let them bitch at me. Because if they're calling and bitching about something that they don't like about their life, anything that I offer in that moment, they are not going to hear because they are not in a receptive mode because they're using this life experience as a reason to feel bad. And the more they talk about it, the more I let them talk about it to me, I validate them in their choosing of suffering. That's not my game anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not like I don't care. It's not like, but you need to understand, if you're bitching at me and within 5 seconds, you've just turned into Charlie Brown on me. Because I'm not hearing it. I am not hearing it because you are not in the space to hear the answer to give you the joy that you're seeking. And knowing that if I say to you, well, the only reason you're pissed off and unhappy is because you're deciding to be pissed off and unhappy. Well, at that point, you just want to choke me at that point because, you know, you still are getting it because you don't want to, you know, it's got to be somebody else's fault. It's got to be something in society's fault. And here is why people don't reach those pinnacles that they can achieve, because blame is easier than responsibility. Oh, I said it. Blame is easier than responsibility. But guess what? If you take responsibility, full responsibility for how you think, for how you feel, for how you act, everybody and everything is off the hook. That's the it that we are all seeking here, that true freedom in that mode of knowing our loving self that we desire and we can achieve everything that we want. And guess what? It's not the money in the bank account. Of course, that is nice. That is min gold because that's what we are functioning from in this society. But that does not mean your value or worth is defined by that at all. It does not. It's not the wardrobe. It's not the house. It's not the car. We only want those things because we think it will feel good in the having of it. Okay. And it's the same thing for when we do our vision boards. Our vision boards are pictures that we put on a piece of paper that trigger emotional things in our minds, in our hearts, that we go yes to. So those pictures are nothing more than reasons to feel good. And if you go like I go throughout the day and going, I feel good about this, I feel good about this, oh, I feel so good about this, more things are going to show up in your life to feel good about. Are you with me? And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said at the top of the phone call, this is an emotional world that we live in. And so now, if you've been playing with me, if you understand what I'm saying, if you're going to continue to keep going through with what I'm saying, the idea of loss, the idea of lack, the idea of not enough is total bullshit, because how can you lose anything when everything you'll ever have will be the feeling that you generate? Yeah, the feeling that you generate. Remember, I was walking through my day. My joy shows up like this. My joy shows up like this. I'm making myself feel good. Whether Apio says he loves me, and I feel that, and I really acknowledge that, and I got that going in my soul, and this has got me all percolating on the inside, I'm generating those feelings. I've known him and probably spoken to him, a couple times through Facebook, and the times that we were spent in San Antonio. But that's it. And but just the time that we've been together, every time I see Apio, love is firing off. Every time I think about Apio, love is firing off. Every time I think about you guys, love is firing off. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I dedicated and I bring all of you guys up, my Ippy family. There's a dedication spot for you in my second book, because you're my Ippy family. You are my joy soldiers. Okay, it's a shout out to all of you in my book, Hot Chocolate Happiness, Happy Because I Said So. Why? Because I went to Ventura and I met more of my family, people that were just like me. And damn, it felt good to be around more of my people. Give yourself more credit, ladies and gentlemen. You need to know that you are the most powerful influence on your life. And when you have people that might walk up into your experience and just try to give you some naysay, to try to give you some shade, you know what? Here's another quick and simple enlightenment statement that you can say to them. Well, you know what? My belief overrides your reality. Because it might be the reality of that other person that it can't be done, that you shouldn't be doing this, that blah, 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 blah. But if your belief on the inside, if your yes is the only yes that you have, that's the only yes that you need. My belief, my knowing overrides your reality. So, peace out. You know what? I've already bought the ticket. I'm getting on the plane. You don't have one. Doesn't mean I'm not going. Because if they really want to go with you, they're going to come with you. I really got used to, because I was fearful at some point of, the people that I thought that I would have to leave to create the life that I want. And I'm no longer fearful about leaving the people that I'm currently around to create the life that I want, because it's not so much as I'm worried about the people that I'm leaving. I'm happy about who's showing up. And it's not like the people that I'm leaving can't show up. I'm not making them wrong for me to be right. That is a very big distinction, and where you can give yourself more relief to be enlightened. You don't have to prove something wrong for you to be right. You can just stand for what you stand for, and that's it. Because why? You stand for what you believe and what you feel and what's inside of you. Nobody has to approve of it, because what you want in life doesn't come from anyone else. It's the feelings that you generate, and they show up to reflect what you're already feeling. And let's see what else I got here. That is everything that we have on the play sheet, ladies and gentlemen. And I know I've given you more that's been on the play sheet. We have 4 minutes left in the phone call time. Are there any questions?
If you have any questions and you are using the Zoom video chat software, if you just hover over your chat window and you click on participants, you can click on the raise hand button in there, and I will see it and I will unmute you. And if you're joining by the phone, I haven't discovered a way for you guys to be able to raise your hand by the phone. Sorry about that. So anybody okay? We have Brian. Hold on, Brian. Let's go ahead and unmute you. Go ahead, my friend.
Hi, everybody. That was great. I love
Thank you.
Your energy is infectious. It's great. You were so excited to let us know how you felt and how we could capture that feeling. Now, I work in radio, and the other day, the guy that works with me, he's usually a jolly guy. We get along really well together. And the other day, he was in this foul mood. And he said, "Oh, I didn't sleep right. I got up at 3 and I couldn't get back to sleep." And he said, "I'm just in a rotten mood." And I said, "Well, that's your choice." He looked at me.
Yep.
He was taken aback. He said, "What do you mean it's my choice?" I said, "You're choosing to have a rotten day. I'm having a good one. If you want to hop on, let's go." And it totally turned him around. And that's something I learned from Mike when I took Infinite Possibilities in Chicago in 2014. That you do have choices, but it's important to enact them and spread the word. So, I mean, people can get so, well, you all know that people can get so down on themselves, but like Hot Chocolate is so wonderfully put it, take charge, you're in control. That was my, not so much a question, but a little scenario. Thanks.
Love it. Love it. Can you unmute me?
You are actually, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, cool.
Yes.
So I just wanted to touch on what you said there. That was very, very brilliant in the fact that, people talk about contrast and say contrast is good. Contrast is, can be a bad thing. They sometimes put that in that category. Contrast for me just means, what do you choose? Because even when you're trying to make something wrong, you're still bringing that into your field, because you're saying that this is wrong. So you're getting more of what you don't like. Whereas I'm just choosing to be happy, period. I'm just choosing to be happy, and you have that same choice. And again, to continue on with your bad day as you wish, great. But when you want to be happy, you know where to find me. Love it. Thank you.
Love that. Let's go ahead and take one more question, even though we have just a little bit of time since we started a couple minutes late. We can take one more question. If anybody has one, you can just click on participants, raise your hand, and I will unmute you. No takers? Okay. Well, you did such a good job.
Wait, we got one. Dawn. Dawn's got a hand up.
She does indeed. She does indeed. So hold on just a second, Dawn. Let me go ahead and unmute you. I didn't see you from where I was, so go ahead,
Okay.
Dawn. You're unmuted.
Am I unmuted?
You are.
Yes, I am. Hey, everybody. It's not really so much a question as it is a comment, and that is that, okay, menopause. All right. So sleeping can be an issue. And so when this started to happen, it was like, all right. And then it's like, okay, I have a choice. If I don't sleep well, so what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my day. I'll sleep some other time, I'll get my sleep some other time. And realizing that and living that way is so empowering. I mean, it's a very simple thing, but it's just like you said, I'm sorry, let me get your name here. Brian. Like Brian said, somebody else's day, you can let this stuff ruin you or spoil your day or your life, or you can say, no, I'm still happy. I'm still good. This is going to be a great day, and I so agree with you. I'm so in tune with you, and I love this whole philosophy, and I live it as well. So, thank you.
Beautiful. Love it. Apio, make note of this. I love this conference call because at least what's happening here is that we are seeing people showing up in their empowerment. They're not questions, but they're people showing up saying, hey, here's how I know this to be true, which is another question that you can ask yourself when you hear something that you haven't quite had an experience of. How do I know this to be true? And your life will show you in flashes how you know something to be true. And if you don't have a reference point for it, then pay attention the rest of the day, because it's going to happen and give it to you in that time frame.
I agree. I so agree with you there.
I'm glad you were here too, Elizabeth. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for spending time with chocolate. I hope to do this again and we can talk about some more stuff and just play in our empowerment and just have so much more fun. It's a beautiful way to start the best day of the rest of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, 216 is what I mean. Yeah, baby. It's just going to get better and better and better. And keep it clever. Because you know what? Oh, yeah, wait, I got to do this. And drop the mic.
We have to have the mic drop.
Yeah, had to put it in there. Had to get it in there. Had to drop the computer microphone. If that wasn't working properly, then that's just, okay, one more for those that you're, and that's it, baby. Dropping that mic. There we go.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much. This was an amazing call. I've been looking forward to it all day, and it was everything I was looking forward to and more. So thank you so much, Jeffrey. Hot chocolate. You are the man.
Thank you so much. Just like you, Apio.
Thank you, my friend. And by the way, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you want to take a look at that reference sheet, it is uploaded on the Train the Trainer resources page. So if you go to the Train the Trainer page on Facebook, then just click on the attachments link, the attachments tab, you will see it there. It's been uploaded by Jeffrey Hutcherson, also Hot Chocolate, and it's there. So everybody, thanks again for joining us. Quick reminder, next month, starting February, first Wednesday of every month, starting February, the calls are now going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern, not 9 p.m. Eastern. So just make sure you make a note of that on your calendars. We'll see y'all soon. Take care.